All right. Let's see if this is working here. Yay, it's working. Okay, so what are we doing here? I have absolutely no idea. We had a podcast scheduled for today. We got the studio all set up to do a podcast with BG Alaska to talk about fluids and lubricants, stuff like that. And I was pretty excited about it, but sadly one of the guys wasn't going to be available, and then the other one, pretty sure he has COVID. So we're not doing the podcast today, and that's just fine. So what I decided I'll do is just like a random, we're going to live stream. And I just want to kind of go over the studio, I guess, stuff that I have found that I'm using, so you guys can see my terrible choice-making skills. Not really, but if you have anything that you're interested, you're trying to produce something, and just kind of seeing why I made the choices I did on this equipment, and kind of a little bit about the studio, and then pop questions in, and I'll answer questions as they come through. So I've got camera 1, and we got camera 2 over there. I'll be somewhat mobile with them. They're both connected, but I can move them around. And yeah, I don't know. We're just going to go through some stuff. So I will start by showing you guys. Let's see here. I actually need to bring this back up. Yeah, it's a little laggy. That's okay. All right, so start popping in questions, and I will keep an eye on chat there, and I will start talking about the equipment that we got. So cameras, I got this. Let me switch over to this one real quick. I've got this. I'll use this camera to show you the other camera. How about that? I didn't have tripods, so this entire time, I never had any tripods, and all I had was I had this Elgato ring light. Let me grab it here. And this is like not ideal for trying to do streaming. The only way to mount it is just to clamp it to a table, which isn't perfect. And then this is like a super like insecure way of mounting a camera anyway. And it's not for what I had used it for like all of the videos so far. It's not what it's intended for. But thankfully, we've got a new hired someone to handle with like marketing and media creation and stuff, and she's good with this. And so pointed out these, got these couple of these Manfrotto 290 extras. These tripods are what I'm playing with right now, and I like them a lot. They're really, really stable, really smooth. I struggled for like a long time trying to decide what to get for a tripod, because it's like, of all the stuff, the boom arms, the microphones, and the audio equipment, and like setting up a studio and soundproofing and lighting, all that stuff like was kind of confusing. But more confusing than that was trying to find a tripod. It's like, well, what's the difference between the functional difference between a $60 tripod and like a $500 tripod? I don't know. But anyway, I am very happy with these. This was my first time actually going to use them, but got 2 of them. For cameras, I've got 2 Sony a6100s, and they are like a really good value. So like, I'm not a camera guy. I don't know any of this stuff. I'm a truck guy. But based on all the research I did, they had like the most functionality. They were able to like live stream like this without having like your screen. So clean HDMI output. It doesn't have like show what's on your screen, your display, just the output into the computer. Easy connection for peripherals and everything like that. And I've been really happy with them. So I got 2 of those. I've got 2 of these tripods. And then I've got, for all of our videos, there's going to be 2 different things. I got to step back here for a second. 2 different forms of audio. So I've got these, see if it'll focus there, these Rode Wireless Go 2s. And they are, it's just like so you got two sending units. I've got one clipped onto me with a lav mic connected to it. But these have a microphone in them too, and I just prefer to clip them, onto your belt or whatever, and then you can run a lav mic up where it's more comfortable. That's what I'm using right now. And then the receiver is actually mounted on this camera, and so all the audio is coming through this camera into the live stream right now. But then I'm able to move around and everything. So that's what I got for that. And then when we don't have the ability to do lav mics, I've just got this, what is this? Shotgun Mic Pro or something? What is it? Yeah, Video Mic Pro. There we go. This shotgun microphone. This would just mount like in place of on top of the camera and pick up audio, and it's directional, so it's just whatever's in front of it. It keeps audio pretty good. Now, obviously, I will point out again, I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm not a professional, so don't take this as advice. I'm just showing you what I'm using. Now, I can turn this. How far can I get without the cord being a problem? That should work right there. There we go. So as you can see, the lights there, it's probably going to be a little jumpy. So these lights, they're GVM is the brand, and I've got 6 of them. Where's the spare? So this guy here, I've got 6 of these, and these are really, really nice because they have a lot of different like light functions. So you can put them like in a chain. So like you have master and slave, so you can control all of them with one. That's pretty nice. And I don't know. I don't know much about them. You can add batteries if you want, so you don't have to plug them in. They just have easy controls. You control them from like app or your desktop or whatever too. And they fill the light, the room with light, and then I can adjust the cameras for white balance and get, somewhat decent lighting. But they're pretty cheap. They're like $300 for a set of 3 of them, and I really like them. I like the first one enough. I got several more. If you're bored to death with this, because it's kind of pointless, feel free to let me know. And actually, you don't need to let me know. You can just stop watching. All right, so bear with me. Don't get seasick. All right, so this setup, is that camera still lined up? Yeah. All right, let me answer some questions real quick since they're popping in here. So, quick question. I have a late 99 F350 dually. It needs a new engine. I was looking at Kill Devil Diesel Stage 1 with upgraded Carrillo rods, looking to make around 400 horsepower. Let me add something here. So let me add another. Let's do display. Okay, sorry, I was setting this thing up here so we can see it. All right, so we're gonna go take a look at Kill Devil Diesel's engines. Let me add the last scene. Let's do display capture. Let's do existing one and scale that down right there. Okay, I should be able to see my face and see the screen now, hopefully, if I did that right. So let's see, they 7.3 long blocks. Let's take a look at them. The truth is, up until this point, I've not really had a good resource to tell people to go to for 7.3 engines. They are, like, if you can find like a good local shop, that's usually what I end up recommending. That's really all we've had, and I know that there are a couple companies that do build 7.3s. I just don't know, like in mass production, who's doing a good job. So I will say everything that we've gotten from Kill Devil and all the times we've worked with Kill Devil in the past, I've been incredibly happy with them. They do a fantastic job on their development and their engine builds, their head designs, their cams, like all the stuff we've used from them, I've been really happy with. So I wouldn't be hesitant to buy one from them. I just really am not going to know. All right, so they let you choose rods. That's cool. So you can do. Ew, why is powdered metal even an option? Gross. You'll never buy the powdered metal rods if you buy this engine. Do they have more info about their cams? So Kill Devil Diesel is proud to present our 7.3 Power Stroke long block engine packages. Add performance and reliability to your Ford truck with our proven combination of state-of-the-art blueprint machine work, high-quality components, and careful hand-assembled engines tested in our ETS engine validation machine. I want to look at that later. Let's skip down to what they do exactly. So, like all of our other award-winning engine packages, our 7.3 engines start with a thorough disassembly and inspection process to qualify all cores to make sure they are up to our standards. After cleaning, blocks are pressure tested to ensure no pinholes or hairline cracks or other defects make it any further into the process. All bolt holes are carefully cleaned and inspected to ensure no rust or damaged threads or bolt bosses make it to our customers. Block machine work is performed in our brand new state-of-the-art RMC V40 CNC machine, which completes the blueprint, boring, decking, chamfering to reset all the bore center lines and head gasket surfaces back to factory. That sounds promising. I don't know much about building engines, but like I said, these guys obviously know what they're doing. There's lots more to read there, but I won't read what you can just go look up yourself. So yeah, I wouldn't be hesitant to do that. Don't know anything about it, but if you're looking for one, I would suspect that you'd probably be pretty happy. All right, switch back off of that one there. I need to see how the stream is doing. Is it working still? Sweet. Okay, I don't know what this vom.red is. I'm not sure. Robert, can you please discuss in-depth 7.3 usable power and RPM range and your reason for catering your tunes more to high end of the RPM range rather than the low RPMs, i.e. cylinder pressure, fuel burn efficiency? Oh. Let me answer your second question. What about swamps for complete engines? I don't have an opinion about swamps, so I don't feel like I can say anything there. As for like I guess the like usable power range and the reason for catering our tunes to high RPMs. So here's the thing. We don't, it's not like we just create our tunes to work at a high RPM. We have to work like in an efficient range for the engine and an efficient range like where your turbo is able to get air into the engine and back out. And 7.3s are pretty bad with airflow, like they're really not the greatest. And one of the things that is important is keeping smoke output to a minimum. And every truck is going to be different. So, part of what we do is we reference boost pressure or map pressure to control boost somewhat. Not control boost, but control fueling based on boost. And so somewhat it is RPM related, but a lot of it has to do with just purely emissions and keeping the truck reliable. At the end of the day, like if you change the injectors in the truck, you put something larger in it, like the chances of something happening and it breaking are a lot higher, but the chances of it breaking being a lot higher is way worse if you don't control fuel and timing down low. Like I can say, we're very conservative, if you will, at a like lower RPMs. One, because like I said, to control smoke, and then also to keep like from causing like a lack of longevity for the engine. So, Robert, I would like to talk more in detail about these things, but I feel like it needs to come with a lot of data also, like the reasons why. And that's something we're working on. Now that we have our dyno in the ground, which I guess I didn't ever say that, but we got our dyno in the ground, we got a whole dyno room set up, and we got a bunch of test equipment on the way and some here. And we're gonna be running a bunch of tests and explaining why, and probably learning a lot along the way too. So I know that doesn't really directly answer your question. I just really can't answer that better without like providing like good detail. And I would like to script that rather than just like off the cuff say it on a live stream, because I'll probably say something stupid like that. Let me move back to, I guess I should ask too if audio and everything is working good. I think it is. All right, some more equipment. I'm happy to answer more questions if you guys pop them up here. Otherwise, I'm just going to cover some equipment. Let me switch back to this camera here. So this is our audio setup. So this is a it's a Rodecaster Pro. This thing is pretty old. Like they've been around for like 3 or 4 years or something like that. What is up with the random comments? That's weird. Anyway, but it's got four XLR inputs for connecting your microphones, 4 outputs for connecting headphones. It's pretty like just easy to use interface. I didn't want to make the choice of going for something that was like really expensive and professional if I was going to have to make another choice later. This seemed like it would fill the gap of like being easy to use because it needs to be. I don't have time to learn how to do like professional audio stuff. And I need to just like sit down and record things. So I've been really happy with this. You can record to it. I just use this like connected to the computer and manage all of our audio for the computer through that. And it's pretty handy. It's got like a audio decks thing or whatever it's called, so you can like have like special sounds. You can make stupid sounds and streams and whatever. But yeah, anyway, I'm happy with that. And then this guy, this is my favorite thing so far. I'm actually just kind of playing with it today. Stream Deck, and it makes it so I can switch between like cameras on OBS, Open Broadcaster software, which is what you guys probably saw earlier. That's the software I'm using for streaming this. And I can switch between like cameras, and you can start and stop recordings and all sorts of stuff like that, which is it's really handy. Just like push a button and oops, that's on the camera. Push a button and it switches. Neat. Rob, have we ever tuned for an Allison transmission conversion? We have. I don't prefer to do that, and this is stuff I would like to get Vaughn on to talk about because he does manages, like he has control over what we will and won't tune at this point. The Allison conversion on a 7.3, I don't have a problem with it. The thing is, like, because we don't have control of the transmission, I think that the idea is great. And like, I know a lot of people that have done that conversion. They've been really happy with it, getting away from a 4-speed transmission. Unless you've got a way of doing it like really cheap, I don't think they're worth it. Like, it's very expensive if you like pay like one of the conversion companies to do it for you. I've heard like $20,000 to $25,000. And imagine even doing it yourself. The parts are going to be pretty expensive. But yeah, we have done them. The only thing that matters is like you need to have a wiring harness and a PCM from a manual transmission truck, because at this point, like, we don't tune for manual conversions, which essentially is what you're doing at that point. You're converting it to a manual as far as like the engine control standpoint. So yeah, we have done them. You just have to have manual transmission, pretty much, PCM and harness and all that stuff. Okay. Can 205/30 hybrids work on a Super Duty 7.3 with a stock turbo and a Wicked Wheel 2? KC billet wheel, I guess is what you're asking. So 205/30 hybrids on a stock truck with a billet wheel. So your question is, can it? Yes, it can. It can work. It's not what I would recommend. Like if you're if you're going to put those injectors in it, and that's your plan to keep it that way, like with that turbo, and you don't plan to change the turbo, then it would be pointless to put those injectors in it. It's not going to be very usable. You're not going to be able to make hardly any more power than what the stock injectors did. That's actually like not going to run too hot or have back pressure issues and things like that. So yeah, you can run them like if you intend to upgrade other stuff later, but like your turbo, your fuel system, both of those are going to be important. I've covered many times in the past like why I don't think 205/30s make a lot of sense for most people, and there's probably a better option. Specifically, I think if you go back to like how to choose injectors for your 7.3, it's like episode 20 or something of our podcast. You can check that out. That might answer some questions about that a little bit better too. But yeah, you can run them as long as you intend to upgrade your turbo and stuff. But I wouldn't stick those in your truck either. Like if you tow really heavy with it and it's going to be a long time before you upgrade the turbo, then I wouldn't do that. That'd probably be a bad choice. All right, what else we got here? I guess a couple other things. I have my trusty AirPods, my trusty Pixel phone, my MacBook. Now these, the headphones, move this out of the way. I bought them like in a kit from B&H Photo. I got the 2 of these pod mics, which is another Rode product. I got a lot of Rode products. I bought 2 of these pod mics with these boom arms, and they, I'm really happy with them. So like the like most popular, if you will, microphones are like the Shure SM7Bs, and there's a couple others. But they're like $500. I didn't really see the value in that. These are like $100 a piece, and they have really good audio quality. The only time like our podcast audio is bad is because of me completely messing it up. It's not because these microphones are by any means a problem. But I've been really happy with them. They're good price. They look fine. And the only thing I don't like is these boom arms. They're an Array, AURAY, BAI2X. They're super popular, but they're kind of crap. So yeah, now we got 4 of these microphones. I'm going to set up a better podcast area setup here. California, you said CA person here. I don't know if you mean California or Canada, but CA person here. What's the future look like for tuning for us? I got a new built transmission, and now I can't get new tunes. It previously had 1023 tunes. So I can't really make promises as to what the future looks like for tuning in California. We don't support anything in California. We don't sell any products at all in California. To make it very simple, we have been, how do I say this? We've been under like EPA enforcement action for like the last little over a year now. And with that, that's not why we stopped selling in California, by the way. With that, we've gotten to a point now where we have we intended to get a CARB certification and EO number for our tuning for a while, but it is a very complicated and expensive process, and it takes a lot of time to get there. So what our intentions was, all of this takes time, but we bought our dyno, we finally got our building set up, we got the dyno in the ground, we got the equipment to do our own kind of like preliminary testing. And what happens is we prove you can have like a reasonable basis, which is essentially just saying like validated with like proper like emissions testing data, which we can do now or we'll be able to pretty soon. Say like our tuning does not violate emission standards. And so that was our intention, and kind of what we were working towards was to have this reasonable basis rather than getting an EO number and then working to an EO number later, because it takes a long time. The EO number just means executive order number that's issued, basically saying like this product does not violate emission standards. That's federally and in California. Well, in working with the EPA, we now we have a timeline now. So we're moving forward somewhat quickly on getting our tuning CARB certified. And so that's in the works. Obviously I can't promise what that's going to look like. I guess you can't say CARB certified anyway. I don't know the rules on this stuff. What I can and can't say, but basically we are working on it. We are working towards getting a CARB certification and an EO number. And when that happens, then we will have like federally legal and 50 state legal tuning. So I don't know what that timeline is. Time will tell, but we are working on it. Hopefully that answers your question. You enjoy the live stream?
The live stream right now?
Yeah.
Sure.
You can pull up a stool. I think there's a stool over there.
Yeah.
Hopefully without knocking all this stuff over. So we have Robert. Let me put this camera on you.
We got two cameras.
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys. Can you hear me?
I will. I'll grab you a mic here. Just one second. And we should be good. It's not a professional live stream. It's just a random. Let's see. Look what you got sucked into.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have come upstairs, man. All right, so I'm gonna put that somewhere. Clip that on. And then let me. That should work. This is a stream of me feeling bad that I didn't get to use the equipment I set up for the podcast. So.
All right.
So Nolan, yeah, I realized that if we do get, when the time comes that we can get like CARB certified, we probably will end up charging more for that. One of the guys, he asked earlier, this is a good question for you probably, Robert, was asking about getting 7.3 engines and like recommendations for where to buy them for reman engines.
7.3s are tough.
Yeah.
We've installed some from Ford. They've done good. We've installed some from CK. And they...
What's CK?
CK engines, they're really big. Remanufacturer of engines down in the States. And we installed one from them One 7.3, a couple 6.0s, 6.4s. They've been good engines. Haven't really had any issues with them
Okay.
for our customers. But as far as for performance stuff, I don't even know. Maybe is Kill Devil doing 7.3 engines?
They just started. I just had that
That's
pulled
what I
up,
saw.
and
They
that's
just started doing them.
I don't know anything about their engines. Obviously, haven't used them, but everything I've seen from Kill Devil, I would probably trust that they're probably pretty good, or at least.
Yeah, we've done a lot in the shop with Kill Devil as far as cylinder heads, and we actually had a customer that had an engine installed at a different shop, a Kill Devil engine in this in a 6.4, and they ended up having a small issue with it. They did an oil change, and a piston cooling jet came out
Oof.
of the oil pan. There wasn't any damage to the engine. They called Kill Devil, and Kill Devil handled it amazing.
Yeah.
Probably the best company I've ever worked with on a warranty claim for an engine.
Yeah.
We got it here to the shop, we pulled the engine, and the original plan was we were just going to pull the oil pan off and replace the cooling jet. We got the oil pan off when we were inspecting it, and when that jet fell off, it looks like it got stuck between the counterweight and the skirt of a piston, and it did a little bit of damage to the piston. So we called Kill Devil, and they said just send it down and they'll take care of it. So
Just sent the whole thing down.
we sent them the engine, they
for
paid for the
everything.
shipping, they coordinated everything,
Wow,
and sent us an engine back to install. So
that's probably about as good as it gets.
for sure, yeah.
So yeah, I guess hopefully that answers your question better too. I don't know who asked that, but probably wouldn't hesitate to do business with them. It seems-
Absolutely, I'll definitely do more business with them after that.
Yeah. They had switch over. Yeah, it's up now.
Whoa.
Don't worry about that. It's fixed. They had their engine testing system. I want to see what this was. They said they linked to it. Oh, it's a video. So that'd be cool to look at. I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like going through their shop or what, but
that's
Yeah.
a really fair price as well.
there you go. Do you have anything you want to say? I was about to be done here anyway. I was just covering.
Oh,
I was just going through the studio and showing kind of like what I'm using and answering questions. So.
right now, no, things are going pretty good in the shop. Looking for people, good technicians right now.
Yeah.
Definitely hard to find, but I think we got a few interviewing one next week, so pretty excited about that.
Sweet.
New guy starts Monday, so and then interviewing a second new guy. So
How many more techs are you looking for right now?
right now, I'd like to get one more. We got the new guy starting Monday, and I'd like getting one more plus him. So
And specifically, you're looking for, like, are you looking for like diesel experience or just like general automotive experience or?
I need a guy with lots of diesel experience, experience diagnosing new emission systems and modern diesel engines, and that's hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've changed so much in such a short amount of time that even if you worked in the industry 10 years ago, you would be clueless on a lot of things that we're currently working with right now.
And is there like mostly Fords, mostly Chevys, mostly Dodges, or just like you need to be pretty good with everything? Like, what do we mostly?
We mostly work on Fords. We get a lot of Dodges and then a few Duramaxes here and there.
Yeah.
Mainly just light duty pickup trucks. We don't really get into the medium duty, heavy duty stuff much.
Yeah. I saw there was you're doing 2 CP3 conversions on LMLs or LMMs,
Yeah, it's
like all just at once.
come in waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, one guy had a fuel system failure. So putting that thing back together, we wanted to go with the CP3 instead of a CP4.
Yeah.
And then the other truck's in for a head gasket. And the customer came back and we started talking to him about what we're doing on this other truck, you know.
I want to do that too.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, let's dodge that bullet and do it now. So
Yeah. Were they both LMLs or?
yeah, both LMLs.
Yeah. Have you done the CP3 conversion on them before?
Not in the shop. I've had some come in that were having issues. I think some of the earlier kits, they didn't quite have it figured out then. It was a tuning issue, but now they got kits that are tuneless, more or less, so you can just install it. The CP3 is designed to flow, basically mimic the fuel curve of a CP4. So
the pump itself is different, or is like the regulator different, like the controller for it? Or?
I don't know what they do, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be able to just drop it in, and because the fuel curve is so similar to a CP4,
Yeah.
the ECM is able to control it just like it were a stock pump.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now is that, I know there's SNS and then like what, Fleece, and then is it Whirly? Or do they all have kits for them?
There's quite a few kits out there. Industrial has one. I want to say SNS was probably first to market, and I believe they were first to market on that.
Yeah.
And then there are a few others to follow. So
What kits did you end up going with for these trucks?
I want to say it was the Fleece kits,
Yeah.
mainly because that's who had everything in stock. I want to say, the other ones were out of stock, so I went with the Fleece kits on those, and they have an EO certification, so
Yeah. That's
just
awesome.
a drop-in kit, ready to go.
That's the future of parts. It seems everything's going to need that, and I'm kind of excited for there to be a market where there's like no issues with it, because like everything is legal no matter where you are. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely nice not worrying if you're doing things correctly or not,
Yeah.
There's a lot of gray areas out there right now, and it seems like it's kind of pick and choose when they start enforcing them, so
Yeah.
it's a tough
Well,
environment.
That's probably all I got. Unless you have something else. I'm glad you ran